The following program is being brought to you by Winchester Productions.
Prepare yourself.
Oh, this is the Ninja Troll Radio Show.
And welcome once again to the Ninja Troll Digicast. Special night for the Ninja Troll Digicast. I have to be out of town tomorrow. I am the one and only great host, Chuck Charles.
Co-host.
Whatever. Looking to my right, it is the lovely Laura, a.k.a. Dragon Mama. And joining us is one Timmy Mo-ho-ho-ho-ho-ho-ho Joe Dixon. How you doing, buddy?
I am so good that I almost need two people to stand it off.
So you're saying you're so good that you could poop yourself?
Maybe.
All right. Coming up on this episode of the stirring rendition of the Ninja Troll Digicast, we're going to be doing the news. We're going to have stupid quote of the day. We're going to be talking a little bit of American Idol. Now, we're not going to go in depth like we did last week. We're not going to be talking about two shows. Why? Because the one is airing tonight. But don't leave us. Go ahead and DVR it, VCR it. However you want to do it, you can even go to Fox.
It?
Yeah, VCR.
What is this, 1988?
Listen, sir, you're talking to people who listen, who watch broadcast television.
We do.
We do watch broadcast TV.
Do
We
you
don't
have
have
a
cable.
VCR?
Yes, we do. We actually have a VCR
Wow.
and DVD combination.
Oh,
So
that's fancy.
So you see. Also, we're going to be talking. We're not going to be doing the sports tonight. Tim's got a special story, something to do with Ben Franklin.
We have a look into our history with one of our founding fathers.
And we also are going to be telling you how to keep a woman interested. We've got the celebrity circus. We've got a really, really big deal about the top 10 power ballads. And we're also going to be doing the Royal Rumble recap. So you want to keep it right here on the Ninja Troll. With that being said, bring on Gabba Gabba.
Hi, Ninja Troll. This is Gavin Ray. It's time now for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
All right, and we want to say hello to some of our friends who have joined us recently on Facebook, or Spreaker, or wherever you may have joined us. We want to say hello to one BJ Hancock and Matt Burns over at the Extreme Show, heard right here on Spreaker.com.
We also want to say hello to Ken Shermer.
Also, Linwood Carter, guy that I went to high school with. And, of course, as always, Steve Parody, the man who brought us Nico, our Ninja Troll mascot.
I'm hoping that he's got some more of those together because, Tim, you've done a great job with that on the website and giving him color.
Well, thank you.
Bringing him more to life than he already is.
Make him pop.
All right, let's get to the news.
Spanning the World Wide Web, it's time for the Ninja Troll Radio Show news with the lovely Laura, a.k.a. Dragon Mama.
Okay, now we have some very interesting stories to go over tonight.
Interesting?
I'm trying to think of the best way to start with the news.
Start at the top.
Well, they're kind of side by side
Okay.
because they're tabs.
Okay, start with the left and read to the right.
Let her rip, Tater Chip.
All right, well, if we start with the left, then we're going to start with poo.
Okay.
Chuck said it, we're starting with the left.
Who it is.
All three of my stories come from livescience.com. First article is ancient tapeworm eggs found in fossilized shark poop. Get your giggles out.
I'm
sure there's more to come.
No promises.
I'm sure there's more to come.
Okay, so ancient tapeworm eggs have been found in 270 million-year-old shark poop, suggesting that these parasites may have plagued animals far much longer than previously known. Those researchers, that word always gets me, have said. Tapeworms cling to the inner walls of the intestines of vertebrates, creatures with backbones such as fish, pigs, cows, humans, most humans. When these parasites reach adulthood, they unleash their eggs into the world via the feces of their hosts. Investigating the
Yikes.
Investigating the early history of such parasites of vertebrates is tricky because, of course, the fossils of these parasites dating back to the age of dinosaurs or before are rare. The one way that researchers might unearth such fossils is by analyzing fossilized poop. So, finding something like this is very unusual, obviously. So the fact they've been able to, well, so the fact they've actually found this is quite amazing. So this has been a major find.
Like a poopsicle.
Kind of, or a poop rock.
I got the poo on me.
Well, when you're a kid, you eat Pop Rocks.
I thought you were going to say when you're a kid, you eat
That
poo.
was going to a bad place.
No, Pop Rocks. Pop.
Yes.
Pop Rocks,
I know.
Poop Rocks. Okay. Anyways. So I'm going to skip the middle story and go to the last story, and then I'm going to go backwards. So, I told you guys that I had a poop story, and then I also had a spinning head story. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. So
Is it a poop that makes your head spin?
it could, potentially, because if it's made out of rock, it might make your head spin. So my second story is a biological twist, and this is how owls are able to spin their head around without giving themselves a stroke.
That actually does sound very interesting.
See? Tim gets it. Okay. So owls don't need eyes in the back of their head to be able to see what's behind them. We all know this. We all hear about it when we're kids. They can see behind them. They can turn their head in circles, and then we find out they can't really. They just spin their head around really fast. Okay? So,
Okay.
we as humans, if we tried to do that, we would tear all the arteries in our heads into pieces, have blood clots, have strokes, and die. Not a whole lot of fun.
That'd be bad.
That would be bad. It would definitely ruin your day. So, there have been some neurologists that have gotten together and they want to figure out why is it that these owls don't die when they do this. Why they wanted to know? Because they're biologists.
That's what they do.
They aren't like Chuck. They don't want to just say, oh, look at the pretty owl spinning his head around in circles. They want to know why. So,
Look at that, man. That's fascinating.
So they captured some wild owls, and they decided to start doing some CT scans with the dye so that they could look at the way that the actual veins are going inside the head as they manipulated the heads. What they were able to find out is that the arteries as they go into the necks look a lot more like the veins that are in a tree trunk that the water travels up. So they actually get broader as they go down into the vertebrae. So as the owl spins its head, they can contract more and still get plenty of blood flow.
So there's contractions involved when they turn their head.
Well, they twist.
Okay.
So when it does all the twisting and it twists very quickly, it actually doesn't cause the tearing that you would find in a human body.
Okay.
So I thought that was very interesting.
Mhm.
Additionally, when an owl turns its head sideways
Yes.
to focus in on prey that's on the ground,
Mhm.
their eyes actually don't turn. Their eyes are actually very cylindrical rather than spherical, like ours are. So they're more like telescopes.
Okay.
So as the head twists,
The demons come out.
That's right.
no, the demons don't come out. As their head twists, the arteries are able to twist as well.
Mhm.
So again, you don't have any of the pinching off. They're able to just move. Really? I say the word pinching and you two giggle.
Well, it goes back to the poo story.
Oh, really? Oh my god. Really?
Yeah, go ahead.
My goodness. Anyways. So, if you were to look through the eyes of an owl,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, we need a camera in here because if you could see the look on Chuck's face and how red he is turning, you would understand the reason that it becomes very hard to finish the story.
The owl would be dead if we looked through his eyes. Go ahead.
So why do owls need to crane their necks to such an extreme degree to focus on their prey? It's because their eyes are tubular, built almost like telescopes, giving the amazing vision. So, I lost my place. Oh no.
If you had owl eyes, you would be able to
Yeah,
find it.
yeah, you could spin your
Exactly.
head right around and find where you were.
So what they're saying here is that there are extra blood vessel connections to the tubular eyes, more so than we have to our spherical eyes.
Okay.
So when they turn their head, it actually gives that extra amount of fine tuning.
Mm-hmm.
So they're able to get the extra focusing.
Okay.
Ta-da!
Do you know what I say about that?
Oh,
Instead
look
of
at the
all
pretty
that
feathers.
science and all that. No,
Oh, look at
watch
the
the
pretty
owl.
feathers.
It does it because it can.
Because it's an owl.
That's right. And for the
Wait a
crackpot.
minute.
Okay, go ahead. I'm
I'm
sorry.
not done.
I'm sorry.
This is what happens when you don't pay attention.
Oh.
Because I have not talked about the mullets yet.
One must talk about the mullets.
I haven't gotten to the best story yet.
Okay, go
The
ahead.
mullets.
Don't tell my heart, make you break your heart. Go ahead.
Stop it.
So, the best story yet. How the rock pigeons got their mullets.
You cool, my boy?
The rock pigeons' funky hairdos have been pinned to a single gene mutation that singles the head and neck feathers to grow up rather than in a tamer fashion, reports researchers who have just decoded the bird's genome.
You telling me there's a mullet gene?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And if you visited anywhere in the South, you'll find it.
Oh dear Lord.
So yes, there is a mullet genome that has just been decoded in the rock pigeons.
My God.
Anytime somebody talks about the back of my head, I'm going to say, it's my genes, folks. It's my genes.
Genetic.
That is the most frightening thing I think I've ever heard.
And it's not even out of the Weekly World News. It's real, true news. From livescience.com.
All right. Are we ready?
Yes.
All right. So with that being said, now it's time to get on to the real news. This comes to us from the Huffington Post in the Weird News section, HuffingtonPost.com. Stoners call cops after their hookah pipe gets stolen. Cops find alleged grow operation. In Lincoln, Nebraska, authorities say they discovered a budding marijuana growing operation after residents of a Lincoln house called police to report the theft of marijuana pipes. The Lincoln Journal-Star reports that officers were called to the house Saturday morning. Residents had reported that two people, one of them armed with a handgun, forced their way inside the house and took two hookah pipes. Officers questioning the residents noticed marijuana paraphernalia and several bottles of fertilizer. They also saw light shining from under a door barred with a padlock and a power cord snaking into the room. After getting a search warrant, police say they found 3 marijuana plants, grow lights, and other equipment. And police arrested 19-year-old on suspicion of manufacturing marijuana and ticketed his roommates for having marijuana paraphernalia.
That's a special kind of stupid right there.
So, lesson learned here. If you got weed in the house, folks, and somebody steals your hookah pipe, don't call the cops.
Don't call the cops.
You want to do the anti.
Moron.
You want to do the anti Andy Griffith. Don't call the man.
Call the man.
Yeah.
Call the man. And that's it for the news. Coming up, we've got the what are we doing here? We're talking
American Idol.
American Idol.
Yes.
We're talking about American Idol next. All the crazy going on American Idol. And we also want to remind you that you can always follow us on Facebook, get all the updates on the Ninja Troll Show on Facebook.com/Ninja Troll Digicast. Also on our website, NinjaTrollShow.com, and on Twitter at Ninja Troll Show.
And you can also chat with us right now in the chat room or in the chat box there on Spreaker.com. Tonight, the musical theme, it all rotates around February 2nd. What is February 2nd? Well, it's the anniversary of the day that Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper died. And we're going to start things off with Waylon Jennings. What does he have to do with it? Well, Waylon gave up his seat on the plane that crashed that killed all 3 of the men and the pilot. So,